Eddie and Webby show is the place to be.
So Ben, you have a very impressive record, both in doubles and singles. What would you say your preference is between the two, doubles versus singles?
So I would say I like doubles more, typically because the points are longer and it's I shouldn't say more strategic anymore, I guess. Yeah, I'd say singles. It's pretty brutal. Just the amount of running you got to do and how you got to grind stuff out. It's not as fun for me, and I like having a partner. So I'd say doubles is a little more preferable. But as far as strategy goes, I feel like singles used to be just crush the serve, crush the third ball, and the point's almost always over. Like it's either a serve miss, a return miss, or a third ball winner or miss. But I think the game's developed a lot, and I think it's gotten a lot more interesting to watch and to play because the points just go so much longer now. People are hitting drops and coming in. They're not quite the same kind of drops as doubles. They got to be even more precise and low, and you really got to cover the court well. But because of this, I mean, the ball doesn't bounce very high, so it's still hard in singles, even though the court's more open. It's still hard to put points away. So it can be really interesting if you got a couple players that really have a lot of really good consistency and they get to a lot, and the points can just go on and on. You get around the net, you can get around the net back. It's gotten so much more dynamic and just so much more fun to play and dynamic to watch. So I still prefer doubles, but I think singles has come a long way.
I get this question a lot. What do you feel like the biggest differences are between men's doubles and mixed doubles, both from your strategy for playing and also the experience that the audience gets while watching people playing that?
Okay, so I guess I'll go with the audience one first. I personally love to watch mixed doubles. It's really fun to watch. Although women's doubles might be my favorite to watch. So I'll just kind of go over each of them. So men's doubles, I feel like there's so much dinking, and once somebody floats it high a little bit, the point is almost, I mean, you definitely see guys with really good defense, but I feel like their attacks are so good that once they attack the ball, the point's usually over kind of fast. And I really love the points where you have multiple attacks, you got multiple resets, and you just got the shots going back and forth. I feel like you really see that in women's doubles a lot because all the top girls, their defense is just incredible. Like I feel like I look at some of these girls' defense, I'm like, my defense, it's not that good. I wish it was. But I'd say their attacks aren't generally quite as good as the top guys. So you see these really good attacks, but then you got the girls just getting them back over and over. They'll reset it, then the other team will attack, and you got these really, really fun points where it just goes back and forth. So I really love watching women's doubles, and I'd say mixed doubles is kind of similar in that respect, with a little difference. So most of the time you see the girls dinking a lot with each other. But I'd say it also gets a lot more dynamic because you got strategies where the guy will get into it a little more. You'll have some teams where the guy just kind of lets the girl do her thing and puts a little pressure on, but doesn't really try to encroach on the court a ton. And then you got the girls attacking the guys. You got girls attacking the girls. And you definitely get that thing from women's doubles where you got the players attacking the ball and players getting it back and just the points going on and on, which is really fun to see. But I would definitely say the strategy might vary a little more in mixed doubles than the other two because there's just so many ways you can go about it. And I guess that kind of addresses how the audience views it. I know I love it, so I'd say I would guess the audience loves it. It's so fun to watch. From a strategy viewpoint, your partner is going to make a huge difference on strategy, obviously. But with each partner, your strategy can vary so much with that person. So it's like you got a ton of different ways you can go about it. I'd say my general strategy is I'm fairly aggressive in mixed doubles, and I definitely encroach on the court a lot. And that's not just to take. I feel like it's a misconception when some people as an audience see the guy going way over there and taking the ball and just like hitting a little dink or something. They're like, what is he doing to stay? It's like, what is his ego really big to stay off of her court? And I know I do that a lot, so I kind of wanted to explain that. And I would say we know the girls totally hit those shots. It's more about applying pressure. I think pressure in this game is hugely underrated. And when you're moving a lot, when you see some players that kind of move over, whether it's men's doubles, women's doubles, or mixed doubles, when you kind of see them moving over as, say, two players are hitting cross court, that makes that person hitting cross court, your opponent, just want to hit better shots. So it makes them miss more often, right? So if you go over there and take a ball when you know you're not going to get burned down the line, it starts to put more pressure on players. That's one thing you can do that's kind of interesting about mixed doubles, where it's much different than men's or women's doubles. So you might see it a little bit, but yeah, like you take an example like Marcin Respetsky, he'll do that in mixed doubles, but he'll do that in men's doubles too. He gets guys with that, where he'll if his partner's getting hit to a lot, he'll move over and apply more pressure, and that'll just make people make mistakes. So I feel like that's an underrated part of the game, and it's a huge part of the mixed doubles game, which I like a lot. It's very cool. For the girls, I think the strategy is really interesting because they can they usually target the other girl, but they also got to be really aware of burning the guy like down the line if people are stacking and stuff. So it's a really interesting strategy for them, and I think it's a lot of pressure on them because when you're getting hit that much, it's got to be nerve-wracking, right? So as the guy, I feel like it's easier to play loose and stuff, but I think they have the way harder job. They gotta be hit to generally more. They're usually the one that's supposed to be more consistent, although not always. You got some aggressive girls that are really good at that kind of strategy. So strategies can really change in mixed doubles like that. But I think it's really interesting how the strategies change between teams and the actual team you have between people. And so yeah, it's just so varied in mixed doubles, which is really cool.